So you're watching Deliverable 2-1, produced by Kiddes Paul Delamarski and Adam Still, filtering data using VBA. On the right hand side you can see our works cited. This is our first tab, and what it's asking for the user to input is 2 latitude and 2 longitude points, basically the coordinates for 2 points. So I'm gonna go ahead and input random numbers, and as you can see, if the cell is empty, it just assumes that it's a 0, and the bottom part in the red cell, it calculates the great circle distance. And the way it does is because it references a function. I'm gonna press Alt F11, and you can see our function right here. We have the formula for theta and the formula for the final distance. For the next one, in the next tab called sorting, you can see we have 2 boxes. So the first box is going to pretty much calculate the great distance circle between one point inputted by the user and all the points that are available in our data table over here. So basically, the user is going to input a coordinate and a search radius. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and type in 1000. The way he can run the macro is he can press the filter button, but I'm just going to go for now and run it for the VBA. So basically what it does is it's going to reference the function from before, and it's going to calculate the great distance circle between the point that the user has inputted and each point from the data table, and it's going to return that value into the data table itself. And after that, this command is going to compare the great distance circle from the data table to the search radius that the user has inputted, and it's going to filter the data. So the macro finished running. If we go back to the table and we go to your data table, we can see all the filtered data points. And as you can see, the great circle distances are all smaller than the 1000 that I have inputted earlier. Now, originally this table is empty. If I go back to the sorting tab, the next task, it's asking the user to select a COCOM, so I'm just going to go ahead and select UCOM for country. I'm just going to pick, for example, France, and we need a start date, so I'm just going to write down 1977, and for the end date I'm just going to assume it's like January 1st, 2010. And again, the user can either press the filter button, and the data is going to get filtered into the My Data tab. For this task, I had a code, this one right here. I only had to run it once. So what it did, it went into the data table, and for all the available dates, it pretty much combined them all together under one cell. So I'll just go ahead and run the actual function here. So what I did is I defined 4 variables: COCOM, country, start date, and the end date. I showed where to look for them. And basically those are the input cells where the user puts them in. And what it does over here is it's going to copy the data table into the My Data tab, and over there it's just going to sort it out based on the user preferences, and you can see it right here. So it stopped running. I'm going to go ahead and show you the final result. This is the My Data table, and as you can see, it has all the UCOMs, countries France, and all the dates between 1977 and 2010, or at least the last recorded event. Sir, this concludes our presentation. Thank you for your attention.